This was, I will not have this feeling again in my life.
Yeah.
But this was the most devastating moment, like 5 days of depression. And I remember most of the photos I took and the situation I've put myself into, which were really unique. Lucky I had half of them.
Join the journey, stay for a while.
Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of KohPhanCast, the official podcast of Copenhagen Island. And this week with me, my good friend Amir Weiss. Amir is an international trance scene festival photographer and videographer. He's honestly such a noble person, and the whole scene knows how quality his pictures, his videos are. Very humble, but if I may say, Amir, you're one of the best. Guys, before we get to the episode, please like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel. It's getting somewhere. A lot of beautiful guests are about to come. Thank you so much for being here and for listening to the conversation. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments, and let's get into it, guys. KohPhanCast. Amir, I'm super glad to have you here with me, because even before we got to know each other, I knew of you. I heard about festivals that you took the pictures of and the videos of, and like, honestly, you're probably one of the best out there. So that's freaking amazing. If you wanna give me 30-40 seconds about who are you, what are you about for the people out there?
Well, I'm doing festival photography for 12 years. It just happened. And see? Blackouts.
Come on. Let's do a little thing together, okay?
Yeah.
Like, first of all, I gotta say to you, to myself, to whoever is out there, the fact that people are excited to be on my platform is fucking amazing. If I can compliment myself through you, you know, it's between me and myself.
That's all you're gonna hear here.
Yeah.
Compliments for him. I am not good at this.
I'm not good either, but I'm just doing shit, you know? So it is what it is. So just the fact that it's only me and you here, and all of this is kind of an illusion, already makes it like, you know, nobody is expecting anything from us. Nobody wants us to do anything. Nobody's like, oh, if they're not gonna talk about something, it's gonna be... Shh. Fuck it. It's only me and you here. I want to talk to you before we starting about the present. I want to go to the past. You're saying you're doing it for 12 years now. Do you remember Amir before starting to go around the world doing festivals?
Well, that's the base stone of my making photography for festivals. More into IT, more into computers and kind of art. Photography for studios, but not as a professional, as an enthusiast, a person that wanted to learn more, to get more knowledge about how photography works, how lighting works. I was working under one studio photographer that was doing a lot of fashion shows in photography in Israel. Not really working, more like kind of a slave. But I watched.
Yeah. You observed.
Yeah, observed. Just the dynamic. I actually didn't really like it. It's nice to communicate with people, but for me, I felt like it's a lot of superficial, and people afraid of their position. He didn't like that I was socializing with more people, which this is how I am when I'm talking to people. I thought I'm gonna steal his work. Well, I'm not actually. I didn't develop this skill. I started to do photography for festivals. Was like in between. But before that, I did maybe one or two events in... I'll go even further. Okay, so...
Yes.
I've done club photography. Okay, delete everything. I started as an animation student. For like almost 4 years. I never finished it, and I really liked modeling. I liked the anime, the the idea of animation.
Yeah.
But it wasn't that. I didn't have so much energy to actually create and the things and think about it.
Yeah.
Somehow I liked photography, but not as a professional. So, but I learned a bit. Few years after, I actually forced myself to get into it because I didn't know lighting. I didn't know some principles that I needed to learn. So I went to a course actually at Galitz that I knew him before, and a lot of people are going to his courses. Really nice school for photography. I did one class of lighting, and then I started to teach myself. I bought lighting, experimented with friends. Some was shit, some was good. But then I wanted to break out of Israel because there was a lot of mess. It was 2011. The protests, the government. I didn't feel connected, but actually because of the protest, I got more connected to people there. At the same time, I wanted to leave. I got money. I went to New Zealand and I heard about a festival the first or second day I got to Auckland called Luminate, which was in Ottawa, which I didn't know that Ottawa is the same word for New Zealand.
Mm-hmm.
So I looked for it, put me somewhere middle North Island. I was like, okay, I have time. I'm not far. 6-hour drive. Then really close to the festival, which was almost a month after, I discovered that the festival is actually on the South Island, somewhere else completely. So I started to get in a hurry. You need to take a ferry. You need to drive more. This festival was 8 days. I arrived the 3rd or 4th day. So I had 5 days. I missed the whole beginning, which was amazing, but looked amazing when I saw the footage.
Yeah.
But when you get into a festival that is fully international, it's not like in Israel. People come, do party, do drugs, some know each other, some help, but it's like a different culture completely.
Yeah.
I got in with a car with different nature, everything green. Actually very old trees, very different vibe. I go around, I feel like in a different universe, like something I never felt. I walked around, people started to talk to me, offer me food, offer me things. It was like the camping ground, which was quiet. Then I started to see people playing fire, people playing music, dancing, which with a different energy. This was like my first time seeing a festival abroad, very late in my life, actually. And almost for the first time, because I didn't do festivals in Israel. I did like a party or an event. And then I naturally took the camera and I started to get crazy. You're gonna have Yon and here. I actually met on the fireplace. I have a photo there. I didn't know them. I didn't know their music, nothing. Just sat with her. I don't even remember set, but I'm sure I was dancing to it a bit. This was before I actually understood anything about the scene, which is almost the opposite right now. And I'm oversaturated, but I have the knowledge. It's interesting. And I started to take photos with my good camera, but not good quality photos, not something that overthinked. And they kind of liked it. So I gave them. They used some of it. And I thought, okay, I'll go another event because I got excited about those events. Whoever knows me knew that the name I gave to my brand was Transformation Festivals Eye, which was a year after. And it's because of my self-transformation and seeing that other people have transformations. and especially in festivals, especially first time. And of course, every time you have something new when you're coming to a new place still with the excitement of being in an event. And then I went to another one, entheogenic stories for next time.
Yeah.
Also some firsts, not the best, but firsts.
It is what it is.
And then I went to Australia and I kind of did the same for like 4 festivals. Every festival had different vibes. Some didn't take me, some took me with the weird games. But then I met friends. I met community that are doing festivals, that travel the world, that work with spirituality, but also with raving vibe, with drugs, with personal growth. And then I went back home. I came back with a lot of energy and I lost it like 2 days after I arrived. I felt like I'm drained, and when I went to Israel, nothing was working. Nothing felt right. Then one of my Australian friends invited me to Europe, and even today, I'm still afraid to travel. I have a travel now to Australia, and I'm still kind of afraid to travel because bureaucracy, because what can happen.
It is what it is.
Yeah, and they invited me to Europe because they went, so I felt I'm gonna be brave and I'm gonna do it. So I did. My first European festival was actually they took me, Lost Theory, 2013, which was also really good. Sound was not as good as today. Things that improved as today, but the visuals were okay. Not visuals. The way that they designed the canopy of the stage, the lighting was. I still don't see so much like this.
Yeah, sometimes you can see that someone is putting effort into something to do it. It's like, it's actually exciting you. You know, you can see a stage, no matter how many people or who built it, but you can see that there is soul behind it. You can see that there was thought behind it.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that I wanted to ask you about the entire way. Like, okay, so you say you accidentally got to photography.
Festival photography.
Festival photography. What kept you there? Because we talked a little bit, like you said something about the difference between the culture, you can say, in Israel and the global transformational community of the trance scene. You can see that the values can be really different, but like, I remember my first festival abroad, you know, it was Boom Festival in 2018, you know, and then you go around and you ask yourself, what, this is the difference between what a party looks like in where we came from and what a real party looks like. And then over there, you can see like values of love, values of appreciation for like community, for things that you don't see at places that makes this kind of parties and art for money, you know?
It's right about the values. We have different values.
Yeah.
And where I came from, Israel, which I didn't experience as much. I've been in Doof. I did 2 Doofs in Israel, 14 and 15. There is love. There is community, but it's very our culture.
Yeah.
Very small amount of international that brings a different values.
Mm-hmm.
When you go to international festivals, every culture bring their values. And then you experience all of them. You experience French values, German more aesthetic values, international artists that come to talk to you, I think more than in our parties. They don't run away sometimes. Like I guess now it's a bit different, but back then you don't see the artists so much, or you don't recognize them. They're like, I don't know, some. But also it's my personal experience. I'm so used to this shit in Israel. I liked it, but it wasn't exciting. It wasn't new. It wasn't improving you.
Yeah, renovating, you know. Like...
Yeah. and same slang that is used. You wanna feel something that is not. It's you, but it's not you. Like the other sides of you. And let's go to Boom 2014, which was actually one of the best festivals I've been in, besides Modem as well. 14, it's huge space. It's a huge playground. Some people don't like it. Some people like it. I get lost. I was with my old behaviors, looking for friends, looking to be with someone. Even if I took photos, it wasn't for anyone. It was for myself.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, I met a girl. Where is she again? I met my friends. Where are they?
Yeah.
Looking for them. I was caught in this fear of being alone in some ways. And then something happened. And then something guided me. It was a person give me something that shifted my perspective. For me, my perspectives about drugs is kind of different because also I work and they affect me really strong. Mm-hmm. So if you take something that you observe how it changed you and you cannot learn from it or assimilate it to your real life, and you need to take drugs again and again to experience the same thing, I don't feel like it does anything to you. Just abuse it.
Yeah.
So when I took, when I took my first time MD, which was very clean and from a friend, it suddenly grounded me, made me more happy, made me not care about my environment, made me do things that I didn't do by myself.
Mm-hmm.
And also I felt like I can sit somewhere and just watch, which I didn't do. I was just walking around and looking for affirmations and looking for things to do.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, I just sat and watched. I didn't take after too much in my life. In general, I took maybe 3-4 times because every time it's different experience, sometimes good, bad. Sensitivity of drugs is different. But in the end, I assimilated it.
Yeah.
I learned how it feels and I used it.
I think that these days people don't understand that half of the integration that a trip needs to have to actually have an effect on you happens when you're not tripping. You know, like you might get some beautiful sentences or conclusions or whatever in your brain, but to understand those conclusions and those life lessons and whatever, you need to think about them while being sober. So no problem. 50% of the trip is going and tripping, no problem. But 50%, the full 50% is just living your life, trying to regulate those lessons in your life while you're just existing, you know, because you cannot only shove drugs in your mouth 24/7 and expect to like you're suppressing, you're dealing only with 50% of your surroundings, you know, because okay, I know that when I do drugs, I'm having fun. It's all good, you know, whether it's MDMA or LSD or whatever the guys are taking these days. But at some point, you just gotta, like me specifically, I used to do, and I have no problem saying it, like enormous amounts of drugs, of LSD, of whatever it is. And at the end of the day, it just pushed me outside. Because the drug, the substance, at what point is telling you like, listen, bro, you had enough. And then when you're too ignorant, when your ego is too high, when you're doing like drugs from the perspective of, oh, nothing can hurt me, nothing can deal with me, that place makes you get fucked. You know, because you're doing it without cautious, you're stepping over your certain settings, and you're bound to be doomed in those approach. Like, I'm sure that a person like you that's been through so many festivals, I'm trying to think of a number, but let's say you took photos and videos of at least 30, 40, 50, 60, 100.
I would go to more than 500.
You know, you know what I mean? So from your perspective on the crowd, on the people, on the whole culture, like, how do you see the the role of psychedelics, of mind-altering substances in the trance scene?
So first of all, as I said, as you said, I call it diminishing returns. Like you do something, you expect a different result, you expect a different trip, learn something new. I know many people. I've been in the States. I've done festivals there, which I saw people like doing and getting fucked and discovering the world and then going back to their own shit.
Yeah.
I cannot really testify what they feel. I'm not an extreme person. I'm trying to balance all the time. So a lot of people come to me in the dance floor. Do you want something? Do you want something? Like I have a protection in some ways.
Yeah.
If I do something with the camera, I cannot work at all.
Yeah.
Something actually affect me really bad. So basically, if someone asks, are there sober people in festivals? And I know there are more than me in different reasons. Yeah, there are. I enjoy some of the music, not all of it. I enjoy sometimes to dance. I enjoy to listen. I enjoy the social. Festival is an overall. It's not just the main DJ or some lineup. It's what the festival organizer wants to do in the festival. If he wants to put more yoga, more art, visionaries, visuals, different music. It's important to have a headliner, good music to bring people, or one that I want to hear. But what I want to hear is not the other person that wants to hear. And yes, you enjoy the music. You are only in the music, then you don't experience the festival. You can also go to a club.
Yeah.
You can close your eyes in a club with a good sound system and be there. What's the difference? You walk around, you see nature, you see the people, you see new people, you experience, you transform, which you can have it in a club, but it's not the same. It's those 3 hours, 3, 4, 5 hours. Another thing about festivals, they're really long. You exhaust yourself. If you take every day, you stay awake too long, you exhaust yourself. If the festival is too short, you're in a hurry to do everything. If the festival is too long and you exhaust yourself and you don't rest. Yeah, I've been in festivals of 7, 9 days, and the longest is 18 days, tribal gathering, which becomes a camping. Like you just live with people.
18 days of a festival.
Yeah.
How was that experience?
One of the best. Also, one of the best festivals. It has a lot of layers that doesn't happen anymore, unfortunately. Also, thing changed in COVID. So now this festival is shorter, less people, interesting dynamic. It's a different story. It's a festival I got stuck in 2020, like last festival on earth. I did a video and Vice did a video about this. Weird experience. But yeah, for me, even if I don't feel it anymore, I want to find the transformation moments for people. Someone told me like not long ago, this word became washed. Everybody used transformational. It's like, and I feel, yes, it became, but a lot of things that were unique and genuine before, now people see them in fresh eyes or overused eyes, but the meaning, it's still, for me, it's still the same. Doesn't matter what word you use, how you're gonna look at it.
It's a concept.
It's a concept. Doesn't have to have a word. There is a word that someone put.
It's so, sometimes, like us trying to say, oh yeah, it's washed, just to, I don't know what it's for you, yeah, but when I say things like that, it's like, oh yeah, it's washed. I'm just trying not to be the guy that thinks something else than like, so somebody said it's washed. The idea of transformation, this whole life is only here to serve us about being able to transform.
I'll change it. It's not the idea. It's,
No,
it's
of course,
the word
the
that
wording,
say.
the wording, 100%. But I'm with you. But just
Be new words. I don't mind. But right now,
the layer that is between the perception of us and how we look at concepts like that and terms like that, I don't think it's washed. I think it's just, we just need to address it as it is. Yeah. And the more you talk about it, the more I understand what is your point of view about it, about trying to capture moments of transformation, trying to catch people while they're having their peaks and like, I don't know if lowest moments we can say, but highest moments, and like seeing people are having these emotions in front of the camera. Do you think this is the reason that you're doing what you're doing?
95%, yes. Yeah, no, 90%. And I have many reasons to what I do. I'm doing anthropology about the culture, about myself, about a lot of things. Some people see it as a negative. Some people see it as a, I forgot the word, like efficient.
Yeah.
But I train myself to, first of all, have a language of photography.
Yeah.
Or videography nowadays. It still, videography is like medium for me. I'm still working on getting it
You're
better.
very humble, bro.
I've seen higher quality. You wanna go and check? He's gonna say, "Oh, thank you." You obviously doing much better videos quality than me. There are some really beautiful.
Better, or is it just a little different style that you like? How can you say that someone is better than you when you're not competing anyone?
They know. People know to use the focus of video better. It doesn't mean like that the video necessarily better explaining something. The way that you can do the cuts, the color grading, the kind of storytelling works better.
And also the way that you appreciate them as artists, make them better in your eyes.
Yeah, but then you see a video that feels a bit more clean.
Yeah.
Mine, people like it. People say it's clean. I feel like it should be better. And it will take time. I'm not saying I'm not going to get there, but for example, my photography is in a place which I'm not pushing to go further, like, okay, invent myself more gimmicks with photography. I have what I have, and for me, this is what interests. I can say I do my job, which needed, and I do my connection to people. People come to me sometimes. You cut me in the right moment. I don't even think about, okay, I'll go back to a different, actually, perspective. I feel like lucky. Why I'm lucky? Because, well, I don't know now, but back then I was very lucky. I felt like when I aim my
lucky, bro. It's all good.
When I'm aiming my camera, I get what needed to be taken. I'm in the right place. I'm in the right moment. Not always, but most of the time that people tell me, you are here. You are everywhere. I know many people get this like you're everywhere, but when I was younger also, I was more passionate about getting anywhere.
Yeah.
Which now I'm relaxed more. So I'm not chasing everything like I used to. I used to chase everything, young and
FOMO.
Yeah, FOMO to get the best photos, to be everywhere. Now I do it mainly for work because I'm committed, which is also giving me excuse. But I design my photography. One day I will teach it, maybe. I don't know. To be fast, accurate, least disturbing. Doesn't mean that I don't disturb sometimes. But the difference between photographers that are using telelens, faraway lenses, and or zoom lens, how you want to define it.
Yeah.
And wide angle lenses, which is my photography. I have to get close.
Yeah.
I have to understand the subject. I have to risk it.
Yeah.
And then you learn. If you don't risk it, you don't learn.
That's also a really delicate work that it's appreciated, but there's a difference. I'm not going to name names or anything, but we used to have like a couple years of like after movies of sets from huge festivals and shit, that you can see the point of view of the cameraman, like running on people, suddenly 40 seconds video of a beautiful girl just dancing, and you can kind of see that her piece is being kind of taken away from her because the guy is like 46 minutes.
It's still happening.
It's still happening, and I'm just trying to understand. Like, I get the fact that you need to do, I'm not talking specifically about you, yeah, but you do need to get close sometimes. But at what point, like for a person that is doing it for so long, what is the system to go into someone's private space while still respecting it? What's a good way of like, how do you do it respectfully?
First of all, you're speaking about video, and I do videos,
Yeah,
but it's a different subject.
yeah, of course.
With photos, many times they don't know I took a photo.
It's a bit easier, yeah. It's definitely a bit easier.
But also with videos, I do the same. But let's start with photos. They don't know I took a photo.
Yeah.
Sometimes I make them know on purpose, because I want to make interaction, because I want them to know that they have been taking photos. Sometimes I don't, because then you ruin different moments or their moments. You take a risk, yes, but that's why I'm working official, because I'm allowed in festivals to do things that people with a phone not really allowed.
Yeah.
They do it anyway, but at least I do it thinking about it, experienced. Once a while, people don't like, I don't like club photography.
Yeah.
Now I did a club photography and I'm also not feeling well, and some people didn't like, but I also didn't take a lot of, as much as photos as I used for crowds. But you feel like which crowd is it, if it's good, if it's too dark or light. Not always good. In festivals, it's a bit different, and it's big space. It's a playground. You don't have to be in front of their face.
Yeah.
They don't notice you necessarily. They're focused on different places, different realities.
Yeah.
And you find the moment when they do something that maybe doesn't disturb them, or you see how they interact with you when they see someone with a camera. Like, you look to the side, like, do they see me? They see me. They run away. They interact. They look at me and ignore. Then you make decisions by intuition. You develop intuition.
Yeah.
With videos, if I feel comfortable with someone, I stay with them. I believe a lot of the videographers doing that.
Yeah.
Some of them maybe don't have this intuition, or don't do it with all of them. Maybe they found someone and they just kind of force them. I don't know. But I'm also doing very short pieces.
Yeah.
From 5 to 20 seconds. Sometimes I do it from the back. Sometimes I do it when they are in a different world. Sometimes I do it to a person next to them that feels comfortable, and then I go to the person that I wasn't sure if feel comfortable, and I observe.
Yeah. And as a person that is doing it for so long, and come on, everybody in the scene knows you. I know you're not good at compliments,
but it's not true, because I am not putting myself out there.
You're not putting yourself out there, and that's my next question, because you are out there, okay? So whether you want or not, it's all good. So how do you keep yourself, like, because I know like maybe 3 to 4 photographers that are all over the place. I know that these days a little bit less, but how do you keep yourself separated from the, oh yeah, I'm Amir, I'm the transformation?
But I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
Exactly. How do you separate yourself?
I'm just doing it. I'm just going to a place and do my work. Sometimes it's passion, sometimes it's work, and that's it. I don't do big. I don't do marketing. I didn't come from the field of marketing like a lot of photographers that know how to publish themselves. Some of them are good. Some of them I don't publish myself.
And still your Instagram is blowing up, bro.
I think it's because networking, because of social networking, because of getting what people need and not what people want sometimes.
Yeah.
If they find their photos being in a really good moment, they're interested. If they find their friends, they're interested. If they are bored of my photos or bored of the festivals I go, they unlike.
And are there specific things that you're doing in order to get it bigger and bigger? Because let's say 45,000 followers doesn't come by foot. And these days, no matter what you're doing, either you're a photographer or a DJ or an event organizer or a visual artist or whatever you are, marketing comes first. How do you feel in this bubble that we have these current days, and how is it different than what the scene used to be 10 years ago?
I don't know the answer for this. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So when there is an event, you need to give the crowd what they want, photos or videos, or you need to hype the event, but not because I want to hype the event.
Yeah.
I want to not hype. I want to give the crowd their photos.
Yeah.
Because they want to see themselves and they want to see what I created for them.
Yeah.
That's it. So if, for example, I didn't post many festivals lately, I used to post more about the old festivals, but because I don't have time, I don't post more. I post the album, but I don't post regularly on Instagram. But for example, the summer European summer, when you start posting, then more people know you, more people come and watch which festivals are interested. They find themselves, they're interested, they connect to you. Maybe I made personal connection as well. I also work with a lot of artists, which I know a lot of artists, they know me and I work directly with them, which promote them and promote me. But I don't do it actively.
Yeah.
I do it because it's just what my work does.
It's part of the thing.
Yeah, and there are things that I'm trying to understand the system, the social media, but I'm really not trying to figure out what time to post. Everything can take your followers or bring you followers. Even the current situation in Israel takes out people, then other people come. I have saying, but I'm not focusing on politics.
Yeah.
I focus on people transformation, festivals.
Yeah.
As you know, Nova, I focused on Nova when I had time. People were hating me because I'm focusing on Nova, as they say, I'm focusing on Israel, while I'm telling them, this is my friends, family, culture. Of course, I will focus on it.
Yeah.
It's not related to politics.
Yeah.
But people have their own opinions.
Yeah, and they're entitled to it, but...
Yeah, but they're entitled to it, but they also doing damage.
Of course, anyone that want to spit hate should be kind of,
Yeah.
Bro, this is in your perspective. If you look at hate and you see hate and you project hate, there's not going to be anything beside hate. Like that's the rule of thumb. And do you remember the younger Amir being like, oh, shit's starting to move? Do you remember the festivals that suddenly started asking you to come, and suddenly more followers, and suddenly everything is slowly coming together to create the version that you are now?
Yes and no. Some of it I created myself.
Yeah. Most of it you created yourself.
As I said, I'm not a marketing person.
Yeah.
So, let's say there was 2016 Lost Theory in Spain that finally Zenon producer said, give me some photos for my label, for the artist.
Yeah.
Pay you a bit, not so much, like very small amount, but it was like something that I get money for.
Yeah.
Which 4 years before I almost didn't get money from anything. I got a +1, some food, not much.
Yeah.
I wasn't. Nowadays, actually, everybody's trying to push themselves. Most of people feel like they're entitled to get pushed, which sometimes it's true. I never felt entitled, and I disrespected my art, but also I think I was also right. It was a different time.
Of course.
Then I forced myself to learn. I went to places that, like the USA, which people are talking about give and take, what you worth, a lot of things. I learned that from a different friend that went to the States and got the skills of put a worth on your work.
Yeah.
Nowadays, I visit Israel and people say, "Oh, I'm taking this amount." I don't even think about taking this amount in Israel because 2-3 years before, nobody even wanted to pay most photographers like this. So I started to up my price in Israel, but I'm not there. But in the world, I know how artists struggle.
Yeah.
Some people can pay more, some people can pay less. You're doing it gradually. You put your prices up, but you also taking care of people that don't have money or telling you the struggle. If they're lying, what can you do?
And you have a dynamic like role in a dynamic scene. So you can choose how much to take based on the event that you do want to do or less want to do, and based on that raise and lower your prices. And like, sorry, do you remember an event that was your lifelong dream to get to, and how was it?
Boom.
Yeah.
But Boom, this is one of my prides. If I need to compliment myself in a way,
Please do, because we are going to compliment you.
it's okay. But well, I have different events, different things. But Boom, I've been since the beginning of my scene going. 2014, the next year, of course. But since 2014, I found a way to get to Boom through artists giving me a ticket through Boom. 2014, I think it was the first and only festival, almost the only festival I actually paid ticket for.
Yeah.
This is, I think, the last time I paid ticket for a festival. Maybe there's one that I missed or I did a favor. But I go to festivals to work or as something. So Boom 2014 was a big, also my quality of footage change. I also had a crisis there where I lost half of my photos. Many friends wanted photos, and it's a big story.
How did that feel?
This was, I will not have this feeling again in my life.
Yeah.
But this was the most devastating moment, like 5 days of depression. And I remember most of the photos I took and the situation I've put myself into, which were really unique. Lucky I had half of them. So they're posted. One of the best photos that I believe for myself I did is my cover photo on my social media. And many years after, many pushes, many talk to people, and I got to be official in 2022. And I can say I'm the only Israeli official ever in the media team. And I wish luck other people, Israelis or not. But yeah, there were no specific official that I know about. There were like people working with artists and stuff.
Kind of remember with because I want to get deeper into the losing the footage thing. Do you remember what exactly was it that created this depression that got you to be, that it was so devastating for you? Was it like you're trying not to disappoint anyone, or was it like you trying to be as professional as possible? And like, I know it's probably this and this and this and this, but do you remember what guided the feeling of like feeling so like anxious and ashamed and sad about what happened over there?
The most, there are two of them, but the most was the documented experience I made there, which were unique. Nobody would have taken what I took. The specific situation with the art and the artists that I took, that in the quality that I took, also a lot of work, but mostly people that expected. It's not because they only expected the photos that I didn't give. I knew there is something there that is really worth. It's
magical,
essence of friends, group friend. Now I do it a lot, but back then it was like very unique. And it was actually, if I would look at those photos, I think even the half that I left, it was my top photos. I cannot almost create something that feels the same here and there, but I did a minimum photos. It was like, I think it was 700 photos each card, which most photos were, also, this is something important back then, and I still do it. Every shot count. Now I do 2 shots, 3 shots, just not to miss focus, because technology is actually getting better, but it's also elusive. So you can think you take a photo and then something changed.
Yeah.
So I took 2, 3 photos just not to miss the focus. But back then I even did 1 photo, and each photo counted. So when you delete photos, you just decide good or less good for yourself. If people don't like, I don't
That's
know.
some hard decisions to make over there, huh?
Yeah.
You're judging it based on like the amount of emotion you can put out to the other side, or like how much value this picture has inside the album, or like what you kind of know, like do you treat like an album that you make is like a start to finish, a whole experience, or how do you distribute everything? Is that
It's
linear?
It's a nice question, but I always use linear.
Yeah.
I don't see a reason to organize album in a chaotic way.
Yeah.
There is day, night, artist, come artist, next artist. It's always linear. Even if you have gaps, at least you have a connection between the footage, the photos. It's the easiest, but it's also the best in my opinion. Like if I had a better way to organize my photos, I would. But it's so funny that it's easy. Just I see other photographers. Suddenly you see artist photo, you see many daytime, nighttime, and then you see the same artist in different pose somewhere down. I was like, why? If you put 2 photos of an artist, which also I don't like to do too many the same, it doesn't make sense for me.
Yeah.
Like if someone wants the photos, he can contact me or buy from me or whatever. But you minimize the amount of photos just to give the experience. So you have like 2 photos of an artist. Why the artist needs to look for his photos? Why he will not look for these photos? Someone will find it for him.
Yeah.
Why the suddenly night and suddenly day, suddenly night, day, or different colors? For me, it doesn't make sense. I like linear, obvious, comfortable, but also interesting.
And another thing about finding your own photos, because the day I met you at Christian and Alexa hostel, Tangerine Dream, if I can plug, we talked about a project that you're taking part of, which was super exciting for me because it sounds good. Lente AI. Free plug, you know?
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about this project.
Well, Lente are a young group of people trying to recreate in some ways what Facebook used to do, recognize face to find your photos. Back then, actually, if we talk about this, you could have got more attention when you could have tagged your photos. From 2019 or something like that, Facebook changed their platform, and whoever updated, I'm idiot, I like technology and I updated, it removes the tags. And then one time in 2022 for 1 month I could tag. They returned some of this function. But when someone tags you in an album, then you have hype. You see it. They removed it, I think, from legal things. I don't know what, but they fucked up a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I got for many years. Why can't I still get it? Like people think why can't I tag? It's not possible. They destroyed the platform, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So people don't follow me organically so much from this. They come from other experiences. And not only me, many photographers, many people that create content, they have no real option for tagging on Facebook.
Yeah.
What was the question?
Lanta.
Lente. Sorry, Lente.
All good.
They're really raw. They started to do a lot of things in Israel, and they approached me, and I know other people are suspicious because they're in this small company. But because they're raw and they're really nice, I'm trying to use them to put us out there to get paid for our photos in not a lot, but also to give photos I cannot post online. Let's say I created in Boom 16,000 photos. I reduced to 5,000, and from those 5,000, I have maybe 2,000 photos of people that looks good. Who will search 2,000 photos without tagging? Also, the effort I put on it, the creation, nobody pays for me. So they create this platform, and I'm pushing them to use it right for the world, like so we can actually earn some commission, so people can get their photos. But it's not the end of it. We're trying to make some kind of a social media that works for us. I don't know where it goes. It's not the peak of where I'm looking for, but it's a roadblock. So one roadblock, I have another one coming maybe. And slowly, maybe in the future, we will discover kind of a new culture, alternative culture, psytrance community social network that we
So what we are talking about is taking the trance alternative scene and creating a platform that people can know, that they can find the people that go to the festivals the festivals that they want to go to, the photos from festivals that they already have been to. Anything else that's supposed to be in this community?
A lot, everything.
Yeah.
Where people are, where you can get help, where you can find something, you can connect to people as a worker or as a vendor or as a producer or as a music, instead of having all this niche or don't exist options for you to connect to different photographers or photography team in some places. Hopefully they're gonna be something that unites us also, speaking less about politics, speaking less about dividing or things that push to us from outside, from all cultures, from all countries. Like, I'm a person. What I support, I'm actually a bit more balanced, but what some people support doesn't need always to be the thing that you don't need to know it. If you know it, you're angry. Yeah. You don't need to know what people support. You just talk about what is important to you and to your culture, to what makes you grow.
Especially when 99% of those political views that we have comes from outside, from other people that taught us to think like that, from news media that taught us how to think like that, from people that wants us to agree with them, like...
You need to do a break.
Oh, yeah? Why?
Blinking.
Okay. Go.
1 second.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Let's see when it dies.
Easy.
All right.
So, where are they standing on this project? Are you a part of it? Like,
I'm consultant.
Yeah.
I am hopefully getting some revenues, but I want to be bigger part of a few projects so I can actually push them, show them the world, show them not our country, not our culture, show them international, help them get transformed and make them help other people get transformed, for better uniting, for better support of each other.
That's beautiful.
They are right now very small. They're really raw. They make mistakes. They learn.
Authentic, organic.
Yeah. And we're gonna maybe get another company to support them and work with them, and maybe I'll find another one. And if someone that has a new startup project that think they can integrate to this mesh of cool project to create social media in the end.
Hit me up.
Hit me up.
And we
Man.
talked about the past. We talked about the current state of things. Where are you going with it? Like, what is the next dream that you want to fulfill for yourself?
So that's not the past, it's the present. I'm working on making my own company
Yeah.
of the brand. It exists, but I'm not a business person yet. I'm working on that. I don't know where it goes. I'm trying to do this thing. I'm trying to work maybe one day documentaries, more video.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe something more stable for myself. I'm still exponentially growing with my work. I'm not talking about followers. I'm not talking about real creating for artists and people.
Yeah.
For now, I'm also mostly alone. Maybe in the future we'll be team up with someone, with a group. I need to divide my energy.
And also you need to keep it safe.
Yeah.
You know?
No, of course.
The delicate balance between allowing yourself to explore new things and remaining in your own spot, you know? Yeah.
Nothing to say.
That's beautiful. We don't have nothing to say. But yeah, that's it. Okay, so let's do it like that. I think I want to thank you so much for this one. We're at the hour mark with all the extra bits. And I can't wait to see you in the next festival, bro.
Yeah, coming to Europe?
I think I will.
Where are you going?
I think I will. I'm thinking about Boom. I want to explore myself with Boom. Last time was too chaotic, man.
Are you gonna get a ticket?
Probably. Let's see. You know, I'm not one of those people to be like, oh, organize a ticket for me.
Well, you're gonna have Merkaba here. Just get a ticket.
Well, let's see about that. I'm kind of not. I want to explore Boom in a more kind of traditional way, like in the art, and because the last time I was a junkie, it was all about the drugs and the.
So take my advices I gave you now and experience Boom in a different way.
And that's exactly
not only my advices, of course, yours.
Yeah, no.
But explore and look for the transformation.
I will.
Boom is one of the biggest playground for our transformation versus Burning Man, which I experience, has a different vibe of transformation. More aggressive, more American, very international, but also very specific.
So now I have another question. When you say it's two different kind of transformations, what separates between those kinds of transformations, if it even makes sense, you know? How can you put this transformation in front of this transformation, and what is the difference between them? If it's even possible to answer something like that.
It's the perspective you get from something.
Yeah.
It's cultural and perspective. For example, between Ozora and Boom, I see a lot of difference between perspectives.
Yeah.
You can get different vibes, different transformation, different international crew there. For me, I feel like somehow Boom creates more of a the alternative a tribe. Ozora has a lot of good thing. There is tribe, there is this, but it's big party. There are good things. I like Ozora, but the culture also created as a party, as things need to be done. Boom creates, I will use the same word, a playground for you to explore and grow.
Yeah.
You have no roads almost. You go wherever you want. You have mostly total freedom. And more international people interact with each other.
Yeah.
I feel like, for example, for my culture and people that hate or not, I know that French and German, they are in groups. Israelis are in groups.
Yeah.
Mostly in Boom, not as easy. You are actually almost forced to get out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
And Ozora, a lot of people come because it's comfort.
Yeah.
Grass, roads, caravan. Boom is not as comfortable.
No, it's not.
Then you go to Burning Man. It's the hell of uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Which some people do with the tent, like I did, which is crazy. And some people come with a very expensive caravan and very expensive thing. Sometimes it doesn't work for them because the dust is little.
Too much.
But different culture, American culture, spiritual, I call it sometimes spiritual bypassing, but a lot of cultures that we also as Western, as European, Middle Eastern, we don't understand their mindset. We more understand closer to Europe, closer to Middle East. Same with India. We don't understand Indians.
No, we don't.
We do and we don't.
So I want to thank you for this, bro. I want to thank you for your perspective. I want to thank you for allowing people to revisit some of their peak moments and being able to, because something with a photo can really get you back into the energy that you had when it was taken of you. So it's really more than a physical representation of where you were then. It's also a mental statement of like, oh, I remember the feeling I had when I've been there. So you allowing yourself to give others the opportunity to save those moments is just precious. I'm fighting with a sneeze right now. You wouldn't even believe. Thank you for this. Thank you for all you're doing. I appreciate it. Guys, KohPhanCast.
Thank you.
Join the journey, stay for a while.